All right, guys, I'm really excited. Rich Ferguson here, and I'm back to do a little bit of magic. So stick around and watch and learn some magic as I teach some to a super fan. Today, we're gonna be surprising him because I'm gonna pop out and switch with the owner of this place I'm at called Pardon My French Bakery. So you guys stick around, check this out. This is a super fan. I don't know him, but we knew through friends and family he was coming today. We're gonna surprise the heck out of him, then teach him some magic, and you're gonna learn it too. All right, guys, let's do this. There he is. That's the super fan. Where's my hat? I need the hat. I need the hat.
Huxley, I gotta show you something. I've been practicing a trick. Okay? I need your approval on it. It's a Rich Ferguson trick I learned online. Okay? See if I screw this up pretty quick. Okay? Okay. Real quarter?
I'll hold you up so you can see. I'll hold you up so you can see.
Eh? it's like, yeah, I know what you did.
I know.
You do it? Alright. Am I doing alright though?
Yeah.
Try again. It's a little better. But maybe I can show you some other tricks if you don't mind. We are gonna go sit in the lounge area and learn some magic. He might even show you something too. He's super. You want?
Yeah, you're being filmed.
Yeah. Do you want to learn some magic?
Yes.
Here's your receipt. Let's go learn some magic. All right, guys. That was just a fun way to kind of surprise a fan, and now we're going to get into some teaching of some magic. And if you want to learn how to like roll a quarter across your fingers or whatever it might be, you're going to start with determining what size you need. So first off, you can get big monstrous silver dollars like this, or half dollars, or even a quarter. If you're a young kid, a quarter might work, but I find that half dollars are really good because, for instance, if I put this on my fingertip like this, for it to roll to the next finger, I need a little bit of ledge sticking over in order to grab and flip it. So if it's too short, what's happening then is I'm having to reach over to grab that edge, so it makes it more difficult. And if it's really big, you can still do it, but now there's a lot of ledge and it's almost like you have to move your finger out of the way to go around. So there's different determinations on depending on what trick you're doing and whatnot, but you also just have to know that it's not always just a quarter that's gonna work for the magic tricks. Quarters are great because they're easy to hide, but if something's too small, it's almost worse because, for instance, if I have this gigantic coin right here, if I hide it in my fingertips, it's very comfortable because it is big and I don't have to bend my fingers so much to hide it. So just consider that when you're starting to learn a little bit of coin magic. That said, he's gonna join me. We're gonna go through some basic coin sleights and different moves that you can introduce into your magic. They're great fundamentals that you need to learn to be able to do coin magic. Just in themselves, they're actually really fun things. Just for instance, making a coin up here, simple things like that, how to make a coin vanish, placing it in the hand, just different things like this. So we're just gonna go through some basics. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you wanna see more or wanna learn specific magic tricks with a certain type of coin or whatever, let me know in the comments down below. That's it. So I'm gonna bring him in. We're gonna teach you some magic. Give us a big thumbs up. Let's do this. Right on. Thanks for joining me in my makeshift office here at the bakery. You got enough sugar? Okay, all right, cool. So I thought what I would do is start off by sharing people at home and you a basic coin switch, because a coin switch gets you into so many other types of things in magic, right? If you can switch an object with another object and no one knows it, you're doing some cool stuff already. It also kind of makes it, there's a kind of a moment where there's a vanish, a moment where something appears. There's so many little elements, but we'll start with something really simple. So I'm going to start with 2 poker chips. I'm going to use a red one and a blue one. Now it's already ruined because you know I have this blue one. If you didn't, this would be pretty cool. If I have this right here and I throw it to the other hand, that's what it looks like. I just throw it, right? So I have this angle and I have this angle. So I'm going to do this to kind of fool the people at home more than you maybe. So, or if I turn toward them, you won't even see how the trick works. Or if I turn toward you, you might not see it too. So I'm going to kind of cheat it and do it in the middle, you folks. So here's what's going to happen. I have a coin right here and I'm going to throw it in my other hand. The reason I'm using 2 different ones is so you can see that it's happened. So if I take this coin and I throw it in my other hand, well, now it's a different coin, clearly, because this one's blue. If I take this one and I throw it, well, clearly that's red. So you can see that if I take this one and I throw that one, you can see that it's visually changed, right? So one coin switches for the other coin. That's pretty cool looking. Well, I would not do a red one with a blue one. Normally, what I would normally do is switch a coin that looks like one coin to another coin. Why would you do that? Because maybe they signed a coin. Or maybe you're gonna switch this coin with a trick coin. For instance, these coins that bend, right? There's a lot of different types of these coins that bend. So if you were to hand me a coin and I was to check it out, like, go ahead, hand me that. So you give me a coin, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I take this coin and I throw it back in the other hand. That looks very fair, but now I have a trick coin in play. This one's now gone, and now I can do some dirty work, which means whatever the trick might be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So coin switches are amazing. Here's my favorite one. So I'm just gonna use 2 coins again that are kind of bigger and visual. I'm gonna hide one in my hand and slightly curl my fingers around it. You wanna do the same? So just slightly curl your hand. It doesn't matter how perfect it looks, you're just gonna turn your hand down. And then the other one, you're gonna hold by the fingertips there. So you actually have two coins on this hand. So you actually have 2 coins in that hand, right? So what you're gonna do is actually put this coin in the other hand. Just literally put it there, right? No big deal. Pick it up. And now there's different things you could do. You could pull this top coin into your hand and drop that one, or you can toss one, and while you're tossing, you're dropping the other. So watch this. I'm gonna turn so the camera can see this. I wanna show them up close. One coin is at your fingertips, the other one is in here. And as I throw this one to my hand, like I normally would throw that particular coin, I'm gonna throw this one instead, and then catch this one. And you do that at the same time, and you're literally just switching them one for the other. And you could do that, of course, at your fingertips. It could be with different objects. There's so many different ways to switch a coin. This is one of my favorite ones because it's so easy. You wanna try it a little bit? So you don't have to do the throwing one. That's actually kind of advanced. So you can just go like this. Place this coin in that hand as this one gets pulled away. As you pull this away, yeah.
Your face too.
There you go, yeah. So it looks like, now see, if those were both red coins, I wouldn't have even known you switched it. It just looks like you went like that. Isn't that cool? So here's another version of it, same kind of thing. Having something in your hand, having something at your fingertips. And then you drop one and pull one back, right? Isn't that cool?
Yeah,
So you
I've
can-
seen one where you just drop this first and then place the
Right, but they might clink, they might make noise. So you can practice that at home, you can watch this video later, but I just want to share that basic switch because once you can do that, you can now switch a ring with a coin, a rock with a piece of candy, you can switch anything. A fake candy with a real candy, you can do anything you want, it's really cool. So making a coin appear or disappear, that's one of the coolest things in Magic because it's fundamentally simple, but it also can be very advanced depending on what you do, right? So I've seen people do this. They're like, they have something very crudely in their fist, and they're like, look, I have something in my hand. And well, it didn't really appear. It looked like you just shoved it from out of your hand, right? So I'm gonna show the camera a version that I think is kind of cool, and then I'll show it to you, okay? And I'm gonna use a nice, big, heavy coin for this, a little more dramatic. So this technique is pretty cool because your hand can be seen from all directions, from your angle, and then you can make a coin appear. So let me show you the details of that. You're gonna pull a coin into this position right here, and then you can wrap your first finger or both fingers around, and now you have cover. So you could be holding something at your fingertips or whatever, but this is just a really cool way, or you can just have your hand open like this, from this perspective or this perspective, there's nothing in your hand. And then to bring this coin out, it's so cool, you're gonna bring your middle finger toward you and bring that coin out, kind of on that tip as you flick this up. So in an exposed view, it looks like this. So there's a bit of a toss too. So right here, there's a bit of a toss and somewhat of a flick. So there's different versions, but this right here is one of my absolute favorite ways to make a coin appear.
coins everywhere.
I know, coins everywhere, look at us, crazy. For me, my hands are huge, so I like silver dollars or poker chips because I love how when it's in my hand is still very natural. I'm not having to hold something really small, and that's that misconception. They think a small coin's better. It's absolutely not the case. It's whatever fits in your hand naturally. For you, probably a $50 would be better than a quarter. So if you were to hold this in your hand right here and just kind of do this, right? Now, look at your hand. Your hand is still naturally open. If you had a quarter or a dime, you would have to squeeze it like this, and it's almost like why bother holding it like this at all? You can squeeze your fingertips together and hold a penny or dime and have it be gone, right? There's actually a trick where you put a penny right here and you squeeze it like this and it's gone. It's literally just between your fingers. It's not, I mean, it's cool, but to do this technique, that's a good size for you. A quarter would be actually, it would be at a disadvantage. But for me, a poker chip is fantastic. It's a great size, making it appear, hiding it in the finger position right here where you hide it and clip it a little bit like that. See? And now I can be typing, drinking water, moving my hands around, gesturing, scratching my head. It's very natural. If this was a small coin, I would have to hold it like that or pinch it between just those two small knuckles. And it would look, I would look like this. Hey, that's very natural. Let me show you a magic trick. It just doesn't look very right, you know? Sorry about that. Okay, perfect. So yeah, hold it like this. Hold it like this. Okay? And then you can see in the camera that if you turn like this, if you turn your hand down, they might see that. If you turn your hand way up, they can see it. But check this out. From here, all the way to over there, to all the way over here. Now if you pull your finger around right here, you now can continue all the way over here. It's completely gone, right? Which is so cool. So if you want to make it appear, there's a couple ways. You can just reach in with your fingertips and pinch it and bring it out. That's the easiest way. And you just did it and just pull it up. Perfect. Or if you want to do it the really smooth way, it takes a bit of practice. You're gonna do what I taught them earlier. Let it rest on your fingertip as it brings forward that coin, and then you're gonna push up right here, and you're gonna make a toss motion as well. So it's gonna pop up. So it kind of comes out of nowhere. This is what it looks like in person. So it's right here, and it just pops. It's very, very cool. It's just a really pretty way of making a coin appear. And you can do this, I've done this with Oreo cookies. I've done them with small flat measuring tapes that my kids play with. Any small flat round object, even a rock. It's just a really cool way to make something appear versus like sliding it out, you know, because it's so fast and visual. So at home, your angle right now is the only angle that's exposed. So if you're holding it like this, they can see that. So at home, you guys don't comment down below that you saw the coin, it doesn't matter, because he's trying to fool me. So right now I can see in your hand, so a little bit less like right there. And you don't have to wave back and forth so much. I was just showing you that you could actually have those angles. I can't tell there's a coin out. Right there I saw it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Just make sure I can't see over it. And then you have to practice this in the mirror too. It's important in the mirror because then you can see the angle. If you're right here, you can see it. And so you know they can, so bring your hand up. And then I would say maybe not really high like that, maybe a little bit lower is better, because then they can see over and see a lot of the edge of your thumb, which is more, yeah, I think that's better, because now right there I can't see anything. And you can bring your hand together like this, and you can clip that, bring it forward, and then use your thumb to push it up. Yeah, try to get extension, so don't just bring it forward and put it right there. Bring it forward and put it way up. And maybe you can pull your other fingers back, because then it looks like it came out of nowhere versus holding it like this, right?
Yeah.
That looks so much more like it came from nowhere versus that at the end.
So like something like pop it up.
Yeah, exactly, perfect. And then have it way at your fingertips, and you just made a coin appear out of nowhere. Pretty cool, fantastic. Yeah, just practice it and do it in a mirror. Do it in a mirror. And everyone at home, do it in a mirror. You'll have to do some of these moves hundreds and hundreds of times before they just pop and they actually fool. Because if you're fishing around for a coin and you can kind of see it ahead of time that you're doing something, it's not going to fool anyone. If you're just hanging out, talking, having a drink, whatever you're doing, and then boom, a coin appeared in a moment that you wanted to show someone a coin trick, that's magic. It just came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
Let me show you another type of idea, okay? And this is something you guys at home will absolutely love doing. It's one of my first tricks I taught myself. Let's say you have a couple coins. Get like a quarter, something that's really common, because then you have the option of borrowing it from somebody. So what you're gonna do is hide it in your hand by simply just pinching it with your fingertips. That's it, very simple. And if a person has a pocket in the side of their jacket, or a purse that's open, or whatever it is, it's really simple to say, what was your name again? Or touch them on the shoulder, and just find any excuse to touch them, and touch them like this, and you'll see the coin will drop out of your hand. When you let go, it will drop into their pocket. So you load it into their pocket right while talking to them. You could put it in the brim of their hat, you could put it ahead of time in something they own. It doesn't really matter. Then you borrow a quarter and you do a coin vanish. Now that coin has apparently gone through space and time and landed in the object you have planted it at. Now you can plant it ahead of time if you don't have the skill yet, or you can plant it on them live, which I love doing because a shirt pocket's great. I can have something in my hand, go, hey, what's your name? You want to sit over here? And I'll drop it, and it'll drop right in their shirt pocket, and now it's loaded. So now let's learn a coin vanish. Because if you can do a coin vanish, a coin production, and a coin switch, and you learn just one technique of each of those, because there's hundreds of each. There's a lot of ways to make a coin appear, lots of ways to make a coin vanish, lots of ways to switch a coin. If you can learn just one decent way of each of those, you could do hundreds of coin tricks. You could build your own, just like Rubik's Cube. You're a Rubik's Cube master, right? So you can come up with patterns and kind of play once you learn the basics, right? So with coin work, in a lot of magic, it's the same thing. Once you learn some fundamentals, it grows very quickly. So let's learn a coin vanish. So let's just say that I had planted this in your shoe earlier. Okay, let's just say I did. Then I come out and I say, hey, can I borrow a quarter? And I take a quarter and I go like this, and I throw it in my hand, and I go like this, and it's gone. And I gesture, I go, watch. I just made it appear in your shoe. And you reach in and pull this out, boom. That'll blow your mind, right? Well, unbeknownst to them, 2 coins, 2 cards, 2 objects, 2 rocks, 2 candies, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If you have a duplicate, you can do something pretty awesome. So let's learn a coin vanish so you then can do these tricks, okay? I'm gonna show you one of my very simplest ones. You're gonna hold a coin at your fingertips, and then you're gonna throw it into the other hand, but you don't. Very simple. I'm gonna show the camera up close so they can see very detailed what's happening. Just throw it in the other hand like you normally would, over and over and over, and get used to what this looks like. It does not look like this. That's not what it looks like. When you put it in the other hand, just do it. Just put it in the other hand. And then, when you're ready, don't put it in the other hand. Just don't. So try to mimic the similar move of putting it there, but then don't. Just slide it back and keep it and throw nothing. So it's kind of like miming. So that's one technique, throwing nothing. Doop. Just time that. You can either pull it back and hold it in your fingertips as you toss, or drop it in the other hand and catch it in the hand that it was being held to. Just drop it as you toss. Or if you're really nervous about it, you're just practicing and just learning, hold it like this, already not extended, just like this, and then turn and drop nothing. It doesn't really matter as long as the timing looks like what it would if you naturally put it in the other hand. Again, don't do this. Don't do anything that would not look like what it would if you really threw it. And then one more tossing version that's one of my favorites. So it's the same type of technique, but instead of dropping it into your fingertips or pulling it back, you're going to clip it in your hand in that technique I just showed you a minute ago. So you go like this, turn, pull it in. Look at that, right back to that trick again. Put it right there, and then toss nothing. This is probably one of my favorites because then you're set up to a production again. This is one of my absolute favorites. So what you're gonna do is toss it in the other hand. Like literally just take it and turn one hand. So have this one down just for visualness, it looks cooler. And toss it in the other hand. Yeah, just like that, and then close that other hand. Make sure you close it like that. Yeah, so literally go like this, keep your hands a little closer together and just throw it. Yeah, and just try to time it like you don't try to make it magical, just go like this, go here's a coin and now it's over there. There you go, that's it. And just don't turn that hand over when you're done. Make that hand stay there for a moment, just like that, yeah. An important thing is when you do it, what happens to this hand? It's dead, right? This hand's dead, look. This hand's dead, it doesn't do anything. It's not like this, look. It's not stiff, right? It's just dead because it doesn't have a coin in it. But now, watch this. Turn your hand over to throw the coin in, but then just pull the coin back and hide it in your fingertips and put your thumb on it. No one will ever know. And then throw nothing and and make it look like you caught something. Just go boom and put your hands around nothing. Yeah, but don't do this. Remember how you did it when you really threw it? You went like this. You placed it there, kind of there. Yeah. That was awesome. Did you see it? I don't. Yeah, just go like this and look like you're throwing something and just throw. Yeah. And then just kind of this goes casual. Now, once you do that, check this out. Once you throw nothing, here's the added bonus. Here's how it starts to become magic. You take this, you throw it in the hand, and then your attention's here, right? You're not looking at the dirty hand. This is the one that's got the coin, right? So don't. This hand's dead to you. You don't even care about this hand, right? Don't make a fist. So watch. Boom. It goes in here. And now, look at me. Watch my body language. Watch. I throw this in here, and I'm looking right at it. And I bring it up and out, and I'm staring at it. And so that's where my focus is, right?
Yeah.
So if your focus is there, their focus is going to be there too. Now you can casually bring this other one around, put the coin in the pocket, put it under your pants, do whatever you want to do to it. It doesn't really matter. But when you slide it off the table, it makes noise. So be careful with that. Yeah. So you get the idea, right? So at home, in a mirror, practice this. Throw in nothing. The coin is still here. But when you throw something, focus on that. And remember, this hand's dead, even though it has something. And then focus on the hand that supposedly has the coin. That's key. This hand is dead. You can bring it away, take a drink of water, plant this coin over by their personal belongings. As you're focusing on this and making gestures, it goes away, and now it's under their glass. They lift up their glass, they completely freak out. There's so many things you can do. There's hundreds of things you can do with this one technique. Making a coin appear, making a coin vanish, and switching a coin. And your mind will start to develop tricks, and the opportunities arise. Someone has a deck of cards and it's partly open. You want to stick a coin in there. A shirt's open, and you just see opportunities anywhere. Someone's got a watch. This is a classic. You have a coin right here, and you say, "Can I see something?" And you slide that coin right under their watch as you're looking at their wristband or doing a trick with pulse or reading palms, whatever, any excuse to touch them. Then you say, "Can I borrow a quarter?" Make the quarter vanish. And then it's gone. Hey, wait, watch this, watch. Oh, watch. And then the coin's under their watch. They're like, "How did you get it there?" Well, you did it 20 minutes ago, or 10 minutes ago, or whatever, right? Isn't that the beautiful part of magic? Sometimes you're setting stuff up, like you're just fishing them in, luring them in.
Yeah, and then when you do the vanish right here, then when you make it appear, it can be signed, or you could put the same coin.
Yeah, you might do multiple switches, or if you want to, if someone signs, that's a good point. So if someone's done a trick where they signed a coin, so say it's got RF on it right here, and then say this is a trick coin. This is the one I need to do the trick with, right? Put a cigarette through it, whatever it might be. Maybe there's just a couple scribbles on it, just so it looks like a signature. Here's my signature. I go like that. Now it's switched. I do the trick. It's amazing. I pull the cigarette out of the coin, so you can check it out if you want. Check it out, make sure it's all real. My signature's still on it. Or I just switched it twice. That's all I had to do. So anything you can come up with in a general setting, you could do with just 3 basic moves. Of course, to give homage to magic, there's hundreds, there's thousands of techniques. There's so many of them. They're so advanced. It's mind-blowing. It's nuts that you don't even need to learn when you're starting off. So I just wanted to make a short video, or kind of a long video, on how to do some really cool basic things with coins that let you build into other coin tricks, right? And if you guys want to learn more, comment down below and let me know specifically a type of coin trick or routine or whatever it is you want to learn, and maybe you can step into some more advanced stuff. But these are so important, because anyone that doesn't even do magic, they walk around wanting to know how to do one trick, pulling a quarter out of a kid's ear. This doesn't look too good when you do this. You're like, "Oh, look what this." It doesn't look cool. But I'm telling you, if you go to your grandson and you're like, "Hey, check this out. What's this? What's that? What's that? What's that?" And they can see your hand apparently is empty, and you go, "What's this?" And you go, "Poof." Now it's cool, right? Same thing, just done a little bit better, right? There's a lot. There's so many things. This is one of my favorite things. Watch this. Make the coin jump down, boop, right? Make the coin jump up, boop. What? You saw that, right? If you guys want to learn how to roll a $50 or a silver dollar and poke a chip across your fingers, there's videos already on my channel that teach that. How to do a lot of fancy things, how to roll a ring across your fingertips. There's a lot of these things on my channel already, but I don't think I specifically ever taught some fundamental coin stuff. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for coming by. Thanks for being a fan. Thanks for subscribing. What are you touching me weird for? Inappropriate. You guys, big shout out to him. Give the video a big like. Share it with your friends, and if anyone out there knows me or has a relative that's a super fan and want to surprise them somehow and also teach some magic, that's great. Comment down below. That's it. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
What the heck?
Please come back.